But I want to start with the Clintons' testimony at the Epstein hearing. I just thought, we're going to see the tapes eventually. They're going to be releasing the actual tapes of inside. Get your popcorn ready. That's going to be fantastic. But, Hillary Clinton, she kept palming off questions, saying, no, ask my husband. She seemed to have no problems with his misdemeanors, the old hot tub image that came out. No problems there. But as for Bill Clinton, well, he said, no, I saw nothing. Look, I'm not suggesting either have done any wrong, but it's all very strange.
Well, it's the Sergeant Schultz defence, isn't it, from Clinton? I know nothing, know nothing. And Hillary, it's just got an element of doth protest too much about it. She was so upset Friday our time, Thursday US time, after she went and testified. Why have they dragged me here? I shouldn't be here. I've got nothing to do with it. It's not my problem. Go and talk to someone else. Well, we're talking about a notorious paedophile. And even if you had nothing to do with him, which, in the fullness of time, we may find out these things. But even if you had nothing to do with him, your husband did. That's on the public record. So why would you be so upset about going to tell Congress what you know of Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Even if you look at Bill's video that he put out prior to going in to testify, whether or not you believe everything he says in that he knew nothing and he never saw anything, he at least had the grace to say, I'm here to talk because it's the right thing to do. Hillary couldn't even say that. No. She couldn't understand why she was even there.
No, well, she got angry apparently, Caleb. Apparently she got very angry at the Republicans asking her questions inside the House Oversight Committee. She got angry. She didn't want to be there. I think that she was just time wasting, because she didn't want to answer the question. She knew that she was going to get put on the spot, in my view, especially about her husband's pictures, and she got annoyed at it.
But this is the thing, is it believable that if your husband has an association with someone like Epstein, that you wouldn't know anything about him?
Well, you'd think they would have shared it, right?
Well, right. This is the question. I posed this question on my program the other night, and then it did occur to me, Bill has probably done stuff. We know he's done stuff behind Hillary's back before, so maybe
cue Monica.
Maybe she could be forgiven for not knowing. But there is that element of if he was flying on his plane, that's not just, I went for a pint down the pub and I met this bloke called Jeffrey and had a drink with him.
I went from America.
I went on his private plane, right? Yeah. And I can't imagine going on someone's private plane and then, not talking about what I saw or didn't see or what I know of the guy. And the other thing that gets me about it all is even if you never explicitly saw Jeffrey Epstein abuse a woman or a girl, don't people like that just give off a vibe?
Oh,
don't you go? You're a bit creepy.
There's something a bit off about you.
Yeah,
you give off an off energy.
Yes,
I think you'd be able to pick that up. Not every pedophile you can tell.
Of course, but it's fine. Maybe you don't pick it up, or you pick it up and you don't mind if you're a bit creepy yourself. I don't know. But all these people who are I never knew anything. It's a bit like Jimmy Savile in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Who a lot of people suspected something was off there, but it wasn't until he died that it came out. They had more than 400 lines of inquiry and all this stuff. But all these people at the BBC said, "Oh, we had no idea." Maybe these people are just masters of keeping it covered up. I don't know. Well, Jeffrey wasn't because he was convicted by the time the turn of the decade came. But all these people who just seemingly don't know what's going on, I find quite incredible.
Yeah, I find it incredible too. And Hillary, the ultimate pick-me girl. She stood by Bill after all of these years.
Remember all those years ago after the whole Lewinsky carry-on, and I forget who it was. It might have been 60 Minutes or something. And Hillary said, I'm not going to be like Tammy Wynette and stand by my man, which really upset Tammy Wynette, and she wrote to, and I think Hillary apologised in the end. But the record would show that she has. Well, there's also that famous story that they didn't talk for 9 months or something.
Yeah, apparently.
And
then an uncomfortable time.
And then I forget exactly where it was, but she sent him a little note and told him to like go into Libya or something, and then he did it, and then they were back on talking terms the next day. So
is that the way it's done? Is it? Exile him to the Middle East.
In these sort of high-powered marriages, these are the sorts of strings you get to.
Well, there you go. I mean, apparently as well. I mean, we'll talk about Andrew later, but apparently he's going to get exiled to the Middle East. So maybe that's the strategy.
Well,
go over there. You wouldn't want to be there now.
Yeah, I could make a joke, but I won't for the benefit of the viewer.
No, look, fair enough.